WWE is a sport loved all over the world, with millions of people tuning in every night from all around the globe to watch their favorite stars in action. For fans, the WWE superstars aren't just average wrestlers. They're heroes, sometimes even gods, with a huge army of followers who are awed by their actions and are ready to follow their every command. Many people forget that off-camera, wrestlers are still human beings and are prone to occasional errors in judgment. Coping with fame isn't the easiest thing in the world, and it's that inability that has driven some of the franchise's most revered names into tragic addictions. Let's take a look at WWE superstars who have battled addiction. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie did everything in his power to add to his family's prestige, and besides winning multiple titles, is considered one of the most gifted wrestlers the franchise has ever seen. Guerrero, however, was one of many who fell prey to the deceptive influence of drugs, and he soon became dependent on booze and pills, which damaged his relationship with WWE. WWE took the initiative to check its star into a treatment facility, but the decision proved fruitless because Eddie was shortly arrested for DUI after being released. He had been effectively drug-free for more than 4 years when he passed away, largely due to the toll that narcotics had taken on his health. Jake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts, famous for throwing pythons on his downed opponents, is a WWE Hall of Famer and one of the franchise's most memorable wrestlers, but his addiction to drugs and alcohol led to his dishonorable departure from the show. Roberts was helped by the WWE almost a decade after his firing, and his stint in rehab was even paid for by the franchise, but that was just the first step in his recovery. The 60-year-old spoke about the depression he felt during his addiction, deteriorating so much that he was just waiting to die before being helped out of his addiction completely by fellow wrestler Diamond Dallas Page.
Because I know where I was at, and I know how miserable I was, how close to dying I was because I wanted to die, and nobody really wants to die, but you're just fed up being what you are, a junkie, a drunk.
Roberts is now fully sober and spends a lot of time with his family. Randy Orton. The veteran, who's undoubtedly one of WWE's most popular stars, as well as a 13-time world champion, also had his problems with drugs. Orton has violated WWE's wellness policy on 2 occasions and was close to being struck off its rolls, even though the franchise invested heavily in him. Orton has been accused of using performance-enhancing steroids, stanozolol and nandrolone, as well as somatropin, which is a growth hormone enhancer. The wrestler even revealed that he had a brush with death back in 2006 after he OD'd in his home and was only saved because of his wife's quick-thinking decision to call an ambulance. Kurt Angle. We don't think there are enough words to describe Kurt Angle. Besides breaking numerous records in his career with both WWE and TNA, Angle is also the holder of one of the sport's most prestigious prizes, an Olympic gold, which he won in the 1996 Summer Olympics for freestyle wrestling. However, Angle's world soon came crashing down after Sports Illustrated exposed the wrestler as a patient on the database of a wellness center in Florida, which was suspected of actually being a performance-enhancing drug distributor. The 46-year-old was said to have been provided with trenbolone and nandrolone, both dangerous steroids, by the clinic. Angle denied the allegations on his website, but a failed steroid test proved otherwise. He has since overcome his issues, staying sober and triumphantly returning to WWE in 2017, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, as well as returning on-screen as Raw General Manager.
Kurt Angle!
Rey Mysterio. We're sure every kid from my generation was enamored by the sheer brilliance of Rey Mysterio. With his brilliant character, energetic style, and not to forget the 619, Oscar Gutierrez took little time in winning our hearts. Sadly, Mysterio's life outside the ring wasn't as successful, and the much-loved Mexican soon developed a substance abuse problem. An addiction to painkillers followed, which ultimately led to WWE intervening and checking their superstar into rehab to sort out his problems. However, all the substances led him to become a shadow of his past self, Something that the WWE noticed too, and chose not to fight to keep one of their best performers, ending his 13-year association with the franchise. Lex Luger. Lex Luger's record of drug abuse and alcoholism is prolonged and shady. His former girlfriend, Miss Elizabeth, lost her life due to both of those addictions. With the publication of his book, Wrestling with the Devil, Luger made his drug misuse issues known to the general public. The 57-year-old stated that he got hooked on the habit after hanging out with his colleagues and soon thought of drugs as a daily companion of every WWE superstar. It was only later that Luger realized that he had made a costly error and is today completely sober thanks to his religious beliefs. Gold Dust. Dustin Patrick Runnels, aka Goldust, is easily one of the WWE's most recognizable wrestlers, with his distinctive face paint and costume etched in many a fan's memory. The 19 titles he's won have also done their bit in making Goldust a memorable part of the franchise. However, drugs lured him into their vortex too, and he confessed to taking cocaine before matches without realizing its damaging effects. His morning, too, began with various dosages of painkillers and muscle relaxants, so much so that there was a time when he was on 40 pills a day. That's all in the past now. Jeff Hardy. Although Jeff experienced the worst of it, both of the Hardy brothers have struggled with narcotics. Jeff was sacked from the WWE because of his drug use. The company had threatened to end his contract if he didn't enter treatment and had followed through on that threat after he had declined it. Jeff next changed to TNA, where he was once more dismissed for missing multiple events. WWE then rehired him, only to suspend him after he failed his drug tests twice.
I was abusing pain medication. I had a huge pain pill problem. I was getting pills illegally.
Jeff seems to have taken the road to recovery, enjoying another successful run with Impact Wrestling before eventually returning to WWE with Matt Hardy in 2017. Sean Waltman. The Minneapolis-born wrestler has been associated with the WWE since the early 90s. All that fame came at a price, and he soon found himself addicted to various drugs, including hydrocodone, paraphernalia, cocaine, and crystal meth. His addiction took a heavy toll on his personal life, and even aroused suicidal tendencies in him. His WWE colleagues, Triple H, fellow WWE legend Kevin Nash, and Vince McMahon helped Waltman get his affairs in order by sending him to rehab, with McMahon paying half the cost due to his friendship with Waltman. Scott Hall. Hall is a WWE superstar who has won some of the company's most illustrious titles and is well known for being one of the founding members of NWO. His accomplishments have earned him entry into the WWE Hall of Fame. Regrettably, Hall's extensive history of drug and alcohol addiction is another item for which he is well known. His addiction has prompted him to have repeated run-ins with the law, since being charged with second-degree murder in 1983 for shooting a man in self-defense.
Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Be sure to watch the worst botches and mistakes in WrestleMania, and we will see you in the next video.